They say every god has a voice, but Thoth's was different, not meant to be heard with the ears, but felt in the soul. In the hidden temples of Kem, the ancient sacred name for Egypt, a sound was guarded more fiercely than gold, more secretly than any weapon. It was not a chant nor a hymn, not even music. It was a frequency, pure, raw, vibrational power, a key that could unlock dormant abilities buried deep in the human blueprint. Many believe the ancient gods spoke in metaphor, but what if Thoth didn't just teach wisdom? What if he encoded it into sound? According to esoteric texts, Thoth wasn't simply a scribe of the gods. He was a vibrational architect, a master of sound geometry. He spoke in tones that formed patterns in the air, spirals of creation, sacred codes that interacted directly with matter. This wasn't myth. This was technology, spiritual science far ahead of its time, a language of light, a voice that could reshape cells, reprogram DNA, and harmonize the body with the cosmos. What we call magic today was once a science of resonance. The ancient priests knew this. That's why, before they dared approach the sanctum of Thoth's temple, they would fast, meditate, and sit in utter silence for days, not to honor a god, but to tune their bodies. Silence was their tuning fork, preparing the nervous system for what would come next, because once inside they would be exposed to a sound that could ignite dormant energy centers, what we now call chakras or etheric points. And if the body wasn't aligned, the sound could shatter the psyche. That's how powerful it was. Ancient scrolls speak of a moment when Thoth uttered his voice, and the stones around him levitated. Not metaphor, literal accounts. Imagine, a word that bends the laws of physics. This forbidden frequency was never meant to be mainstream. It was reserved for initiates, those who had transcended the ego and could handle the burden of divine power. But over time, this knowledge faded, or rather, it was buried. Some say it was hidden by secret societies. Others believe it simply disappeared with the fall of Atlantis, a civilization that Thoth himself claimed to have fled from, carrying with him the secrets of sound and immortality. So what happened to this frequency? Why has no one heard it again? The truth is, it never left. It was encoded in symbols, in vibrations, in sacred architecture, waiting for the right moment to return. And now, in an age where sound is everywhere, where frequencies flood our ears 24/7, the true sound, the original tone of healing, is rising once again. And if you're hearing this, you may already be feeling it, because Thoth's frequency doesn't just reach you, it activates you. But what is this forbidden law? What makes it so different, so dangerous, so divine? In the next part, we'll uncover the science behind it and how it was designed not to be worshipped, but used. Are you ready to remember? There exists a law so ancient, so powerful, that it was never written in stone, but carved into sound, a vibrational current woven through existence itself. It's not found in books, nor in temples, nor even in sacred scrolls. It is heard, felt, resonated. The sages of Kem knew it. The mystics of Babylon whispered about it. And deep within the emerald tablets, Thoth encoded its essence. Not in words, but in rhythm, frequency, vibration. This is the reverse law. A law that does not follow the world, it rewrites it. You see, in the reality we've been taught to obey, we are always reaching for love, for purpose, for money, for healing, for meaning. But in doing so, we vibrate from lack. And here lies the secret. What you vibrate, you attract. Not what you desire, but what you are. Thoth's law teaches the opposite of what society preaches. Not to seek, but to become. To stop praying for light and instead radiate it. To stop begging for peace and instead embody it. Because when you shift your frequency from I want to I am, the universe no longer resists you. It reorganizes itself around you. This is what the ancient initiates guarded with their lives. They didn't speak of it, they tuned to it. They didn't chant, they aligned. The reverse law is not about action. It is about vibration. It says, do not pursue. Project do not wish, resonate. Thoth taught that creation responds to the dominant frequency, not to the loudest voice, nor the most desperate plea, but to the soul that quietly is. This is why those who chased nothing received everything. This is why monks sat in stillness for decades and found enlightenment in silence, and why those obsessed with manifestation often end up manifesting frustration, because they are chasing, not becoming. And here's what they never told you. The more you try to force reality, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you tune your inner state, the outer world has no choice but to mirror it. Thoth's forbidden frequency was never about control. It was about coherence, resonance. The moment you shift from striving to simply being, you unlock the door to a reality that was waiting for you all along. That's why they buried this law. Because if everyone remembered, if everyone aligned, if everyone vibrated as creators, not consumers, the entire structure of control would collapse. People would stop looking to governments, gurus, or systems to give them power, because they'd remember they were power. The reverse law threatens the illusion we live in. It's dangerous, not because it harms, but because it heals. And that healing begins the moment you stop asking and start vibrating. Let's go deeper still, to the sound behind the sound, the tone that built pyramids and parted seas, the frequency that bends time, space, and matter. Modern science is only now scratching the surface of what the ancients mastered thousands of years ago. We look to pills, surgeries, and diagnoses, but the priests of Thoth looked to sound, not just any sound, but sacred frequency, a specific vibration, calculated, intentional, capable of aligning the body, mind, and soul. When we speak of Thoth's forbidden frequency, we're not speaking in metaphor. We're speaking of a lost technology of sound, an energetic code buried in harmonic resonance. In the temples of Chem, healing didn't come from the outside. There were no prescriptions, only intonations. Chambers were constructed with perfect geometry to amplify specific tones. A voice tuned to the divine frequency could trigger transformation on a cellular level. Let's go deeper. Imagine a room carved from stone. The acoustics are flawless. A priest or initiate stands at the center, chanting a syllable that was never spoken casually, a sound only uttered after days of purification. As the tone vibrates through the air, the frequency moves through the bones, the water, the organs of the listener. This vibration begins to dislodge emotional trauma trapped in the tissues. Stored pain, grief, fear, guilt begins to rise. Tears fall, the body shakes, a reset begins. It was not magic, it was physics, of the subtle kind. These frequencies interact directly with the biofield, the energetic architecture around your physical form. Where there is distortion, illness, fatigue, depression, the sacred frequency moves like a tuning fork, bringing coherence. And here's where it gets truly forbidden. These vibrational healing methods bypass the conscious mind. They don't ask for belief, They don't require understanding. They restructure you from the inside out. This kind of healing threatens systems built on dependency and control. Because when you heal yourself, you stop needing their answers. You stop fearing disease. You remember that your body was designed to respond to truth, and truth has a frequency. Those who heard Thoth's tone reported visions. Some felt time distort. Others described leaving their body entirely, seeing geometric light forms, or hearing words without language. All from a single note, one frequency vibrating at the level of source. And that is why it was hidden, because if the masses knew they carried a key within, if they realized that the right sound at the right time in the right space could bring them back to their divine template, the systems of control would crumble. And here's the most important part. Your body remembers. You may feel warmth in the chest when you hear certain chants. You may cry when a frequency hits you just right. This isn't random, it's cellular memory, because sound was the first language, before words, before thought. And Thoth was its master. His forbidden frequency isn't just something you hear, it's something you become. Now, it's your time to remember, to hear the forbidden frequency, not with your ears, but with your soul. You were never truly disconnected. You were simply surrounded by too much noise. The voice of the world drowned out the voice of the source, but the silence is calling again. And within that silence, sound begins to rise. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. Feel the space around your heart expand. You are not broken. You are only out of tune. Every cell in your body carries memory, not just genetic memory, but cosmic memory. You've heard this sound before, in another time, maybe in dreams, maybe in moments of deep peace, or maybe in the tears that came without reason. This is not magic. This is law, the reverse law. It states, what you seek, you push away, but what you become, you magnetize. And this law has always been inside you. The ancient temples knew this. Their rituals weren't to summon something external. They were designed to activate what already lived within, with sound, with vibration, with frequency. So now you are invited to remember, not just intellectually, but viscerally. Let the forgotten parts of you awaken. Pause. Feel it. A low hum behind your breath. A gentle pulse in your chest. A wave that isn't coming from the outside, but from within. This is the resonance of the original tone, the source sound, what the ancients called the word or the breath of the divine. It's subtle, yet more powerful than thunder, because it doesn't just move the air, it moves your reality. As you listen, don't just hear, become. Become the vessel, the conductor, the remembering. Let your body align. Let your fields synchronize. Let the sound rise in you, not as a song, but as your truth. Pause. They hid this frequency for a reason, because those who awaken to it can't be controlled. They no longer seek permission. They no longer bow. They embody the divine. Now it's your turn. You don't need to chant it. You only need to feel it, because when you align with it, the world aligns with you. This is Thoth's forbidden frequency, and it was never truly lost. Just waiting. Can you hear it now? If this message awakens something inside you, then you're not alone. The ancient sound is returning, and so are you. Don't keep this knowledge hidden. Share it. Spread it. Let others remember too. Subscribe to The Alchemist and turn on the bell, because more ancient truths are rising. And if you felt the frequency, comment below, I remember. Your awakening has already begun.